3. The American Dream.
Forrest Gump leads a charmed.
What is the American Dream? Do you know?
Yeah, it's that if you work hard, you can succeed, even if you come from a bad situation. It's the American Dream.
Also, home ownership. They call the American Dream.
Yes.
The American Dream. Get your piece of the pie. Get your home.
Life. Although born with some disadvantages.
So wait a minute. He's already shown that he completely misses the entire point of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He just said Forrest Gump lived a charmed life.
Forrest Gump leads a charmed life.
Okay. So life is pretty shitty to Forrest. And the charmed aspect is his mentality. Keeping him through it. It's not life. Life is very dark for Forrest Gump and for basically all the characters involved.
Don't you know the racist rednecks in the truck were throwing money at him? Those weren't rocks.
Yeah, there you go.
Those were gold bars.
There you go. And the girl that he's like in love with, that is a total like destructive person because she had a horribly abusive life.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Obsessed with. That dies at the end of the movie.
Child abuse. Don't you want a girlfriend that's been like sexually abused by her dad? Like, come on, that's charmed life.
A guy that like doesn't have the intelligence to sort of make like free will decisions for most of the movie. But he lives a charmed life, Adam. He lives a charmed life.
Although born with some disadvantages, Forrest is able to become rich and famous beyond his wildest dreams. He plays ping pong for the United States, and a sports company pays him to endorse their ping pong paddles. He runs a successful shrimping company and stumbles into owning part of Apple Computers. Forrest Gump is the realization of the American dream, that with a little hard work and adherence to American values, anyone can be successful. We're all just millionaires.
What's wrong with that?
Everything, Adam. You have to tear it down. The American dream is a lie, Adam. Just tear it all down. Destroy the system. Burn it.
So we're lucky to have a system where anyone can move up. Like most systems in the world don't allow for any kind of upward mobility. You're either born rich or you're fucked. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. Row, fight the power.
Well, I guess just to play devil's advocate, he would say something like, that is really just a myth. That's not true. Like,
that's
moving
bullshit.
up. Well, yeah. I mean,
obviously,
well,
if you look at the statistics, like, yes, obviously being in an advantaged position in life is going to grant you advantages. Like, no one's denying that. And I also agree that there needs to be more things to help people in disadvantaged situations. I completely agree with that. That doesn't mean that we should tear down the whole system or get rid of the concept of the American dream, which is a very positive concept, which helps propel society forward and helps propel individuals forward in life.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have that in North Korea. Like, nobody in North Korea thinks, I'm going to grow up and be a billionaire. They think, I'm not going to do anything because the government's going to take everything away from me.
Right.
Years in waiting. Rags to riches. That's what Americans are taught. Forrest's disadvantages do not matter. All that matters is his obedience to the American way.
See, that's his disadvantages are his entire character. Like, that's the only reason he's in all the situations he is in, is because of his disadvantages.
Yeah.
He literally is able to turn his disadvantages into advantages.
Of life. This is a fabrication, a lie. Children who grow up in poverty are as much as 75 times more likely to be poor in adulthood than those who don't. Workers struggling to overcome those odds are rewarded even less for their labor than they once were.
Do you think he has any idea about, productive American worker has increased 70% since 1979, but the hourly pay has gone up less than 12%. See, this is a guy that needs to listen to Mark Blythe, because I doubt he has any actual explanation for any of these statistics.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
you got to watch that Mark Blythe video.
Just tear it down. Just tear it down, Adam.
The productivity of
How do these people explain why the system used to work?
Yeah, we should be pushing back towards, something tells me they'd say racism.
Oh, that's it. It's because you were being, since white, it only worked for white people. So
Because they were
somehow,
taking, someone else was
right,
working and they were taking the fruits of
right. It
other
was just
people's
white people
labors.
taking advantage of black people. Yeah, that must be their excuse.
American workers has increased 70% since 1979, but their average hourly pay has gone up less than 12%.
All
In
due to
modern times, the
automation.
federal
Yeah, and this is all bad. I agree. This is all bad
Yeah.
stuff. Doesn't mean the answer is communism.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it doesn't help. It's funny because it says children who grow up in poverty are 75 times more likely to be poor in adulthood. Okay, so it's very simple. If you were to take the people that break free from the mold, right, and you were to give them questionnaires about their opinions and the way they view their lives and themselves, do you think they have a positive attitude, or do you think they have a negative tear it all down attitude?
Positive attitude, obviously.
Which one do you think is the winning attitude here?
Positive attitude.
Yeah.
Like if we could just inject that positive attitude into people, it'd be great. Like one
Right,
of the
I
things we're
agree.
fighting is so many of the social justice warriors just they deal in resentment. Like all they got for you is a big like fat joint of resentment. Like smoke this, hate the world with me.
Well, that's what's so bad about the rioting and the looting and the burning shit down, because it's just resentment on overdrive.
Yeah.
And that's why so many of the SJW types can't fully condemn it, because they're peddling resentment. You can talk about having positive changes in the world without resentment, right? Without destructive tendencies.
Yeah.
You can actually care about poor people instead of hating rich people.
minimum wage has remained stagnant.
Income inequality is a big issue, but
Right.
I need my buddy Sitch to like dive into the numbers, because the left is always focused on billionaires are bad, and I innately think that's bunk. Like you need these innovators that are going to change society in productive ways, and without the resources you don't get that. So I do think you need people that have these massive amounts of resources that they obtain because they're good at managing those resources and delivering productivity. But at the same time, you don't want to have a bunch of people that are living in squalor. You still need a middle class, and I don't really know where we stand. Like the left is cooking the books on saying, yeah, all of these problems are the super wealthy. And I don't necessarily know that all the problems are the super wealthy, but there is the income inequality does result in looting. Like that's where it always goes.
Of course.